Nick Benj along with Eddie Jackson. And Eddie, we've seen 2 good weeks of qualifying so far.
Well, that's right, Nick, and this is not going to be any exception. Of course, we got the veteran back, Gene Weatherford, and of course, can't get rid of Sydnor. No matter what we do, we get a Sydnor, and this time we got Glenna. You're going to see balls thrown off the corner. You're going to see 3/4 rollers. You're going to see full rollers and semi-spinners. So I think we're in for an exciting day.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. And we'll be back with our first match right after this. Well, Eddie, our first match is Dorothy Weiss and Glenna Sydnor. And Dorothy wastes no time getting the ball down the lanes, and a 7 count.
That's right. She just got right up there and let it go. And talking to you before they started, I said she's one of the few gal bowlers that realizes that she throws a backup ball and plays it from the left side of the lane, which is a plus for her.
Grandma Dot, as her jersey says. And she looked a little off balance there. She walks back and says, no, she's not nervous. And there's the shot of Grandma Dot. Here's Glenna Sydnor. Her husband has been on the program, or her brother, I believe. She hits a little high for a 9 count.
Glenna is going to have to be heard from here today. As a remark, and she comes off the side of that ball, gets a good roll on it, and I'm sure that if you watch her come in light to the pocket, you'll see the 5-pin go scooting out of there. Cross lane, somewhere over the 3rd arrow.
Good looking ball. Yes.
On the spare.
There's our first mark of the day.
I was kidding Larry. I says, maybe we got one Sydnor that can win. And I told him I promised not to help her in her approach.
Larry was our top qualifier last week and our second highest qualifier 2 weeks ago, and both times he ran into hard luck. And looks at Brooklyn in the 5-10.
And Nick, she just got up there and just reared up on the shot and caused the ball to be pulled. The left knee was stiff, but if you notice her approach, she's smaller than Larry, but she's still starting back at about the 12.5 foot mark and taking the 5 steps the same as Larry.
Well, let's see. And she goes for the 1 pin and picks it up. I'm just wondering, she's Larry's wife, correct?
I think so.
Okay. Gotta get my facts straight. And there's Dorothy Weiss with a 3 count.
I think the camera's got Dorothy a little excited. She was rolling the ball a lot better while she was practicing. She just settles down and takes her time and relaxes up here. She'll be in good shape.
Well, there's her ball right there, and oh no.
And a bad break. She had them all over on that 10 pin.
After two frames, Dorothy's +5. Dorothy has a 36 handicap, where Glenna has a 20. And again, Dorothy's still searching for that pocket, Eddie.
Well, again, if you notice, she's just picking up the ball and going over and just rifling it down the lane. I would like to see her set herself, get set at the line, and then stroke the ball down the lane. Of course, she's playing the backup ball.
And that's her ball. Mark it down. There's her first mark. She looked real good in warm-ups.
I think Big Mama is coming around now. What did she say? Put the thin lens on?
That was so you could see her back. Grandma Dot. But here's a good bowler. And that's a good-looking ball. But Glenna Sydnor, our first strike of the afternoon. Glenna's 38 years of age, from Erlanger, Kentucky. She uses a 15-pound ball. She has a super average, a 174.
And she's using one of those new urethane balls. And good roll on that one.
Oh.
Just got it inside just a little bit, but the ball was rolling real well.
Why didn't she get to carry there, Eddie?
Well, the ball just was positioned not in a proper place. If she'd have had the ball just a little bit to the right, where she could have picked up an area to roll in, she'd have been fine. I'm sure she'll make an adjustment on that.
And for the 10 pin, here's Grandma Dot. There's a good-looking ball. Oh, watch out. Oh, boy.
Well, this is a makeable split here, Nick, and wouldn't surprise me to see old Grandma will get behind that 6-pin.
She's been bowling for 15 years, and she's holding a 160 average, and for one. So we have a four-pin game right now in the fourth frame, 79-75. Okay, here's my daily prediction. Just keep your eye on Granny's ball right here, and let's mark it down. Ooh, a little light. She's from Burlington, Kentucky.
Well, I'll say one thing. She wastes no time. Picks it up, takes one step, and lets it go.
And there's a mark. So we're halfway through this first match between Dorothy Weiss and Glenna Sydnor, and we'll be back with the conclusion right after this. Glenna Sydnor is about ready to throw the ball. And Eddie, you just found out some important information that we've been searching for all morning.
I asked Larry, I said, is this your wife or your sister? And he says, Nick, that's my wife. Can't you tell? She just threw a Brooklyn.
And she made the adjustment, but she did not get the 10 to go. She's -4 with Dorothy working on a spare.
And again, she's shooting cross alley. She'll have her shoulders square to her target.
Boy, that's a pretty ball.
And for the conversion. If you notice, she did a smart thing before. She had the 8-10, and I didn't remember her practicing the 10-pin when she came down to this pair of lanes to practice. So when she had a shot at it, she took a practice on the 10-pin, and it paid off on the right lane.
Glenna Sydnor. And there's her ball. Hello.
And that's the one that was in the area where it picked up the roll.
Yes, sir. That ball did not look like it was going to make it back upstairs. There's Grandma Dot with a quick delivery, and she's going to come right back. There it is. Well, both ladies rolling good now. Both working on strikes. Watch out. Hello, darling. Oh, there's the ball. 2 in a row for Dorothy Weiss.
And as we said, looks like Big Mama's going to get on a roll here. She's starting to loosen up.
She's +4 working on a double. That really puts a lot of pressure on Glenna.
Yeah, she just got that one a little wide, Nick, and I'm sure she'll come back.
And for the conversion.
You know, I like her cool and deliverance up here on the foul line. She may not win this match, but she's a solid, strong bowler, and her 174, 175 average is indicative of some work that she's put into her ball game. If you notice, she's taking the 5-step approach, just a little pull.
Brooklyn. Both these ladies have been bowling 15 years. It's kind of interesting. They're equals, I guess.
How old would you have been, Nick?
A grand total of 5.5.
Good shot. Good shot.
Well, as Grandma Dot would say, and Eddie Jackson, there's plenty of paper left, so she's going to have to stay on her toes. And there's a 6 count.
And that's not too good a count to get on a double. And it's a very difficult spare. Grandma's going to be playing this down the left side, and I'm sure backing the ball all the way across the 1, 3, and into the 10. And there they are.
Oh, beautiful ball. There's no other place she could have put it. So when the smoke clears, Grandma Dowd emerges 14 pins up, going into the all-important 9th frame.
You know, Nick, that last shot was a textbook shot.
What about that one?
Well, like we said, she is aware that she throws a backup ball, and she is playing it. And that's the key. A lot of women that throw the reverse ball, try and bowl from the right-hand side of the lane, which is in opposition to the roll of the ball.
Oh, watch out. Glenna Sydnor answers the call. That was the ball she needed to keep her hopes alive. Now here she is in the 10th frame, minus 14. It's a big ball right here. A double could make or break her day.
Well, right now she needs this one. She can take care of her own fate with this pitch.
Oh boy, it wanted to go. Looked like the 5-pin fell on a pin that was about ready to knock the 10-pin over. And bowling is, the game, it's funny. You could throw the same ball every time and get a different pin count.
Well, if she makes this spare, it's just a matter of count for Grandma. And she's got the spare dead on it. The best Glenna can get is 191, and with a good count from Grandma, she's home free.
And Glenna's final ball, an 8 count. She finishes with a 189. Now here's Grandma, no time at all. And that should wrap us up. Ooh, a 9 count. That's it.
If I was in Kentucky and remember a fellow that wore a brown suit, he would be lighting up the cigar right now.
And a little show of confidence. Very happy Dorothy Weiss. She started out a little slow, but she said, "The lights aren't bothering me." And that's true. The last 3 out of 4 frames had a big X in my box. And the crowd shows their appreciation. A 202 to 189. Dorothy Weiss will move on and meet Gene Weatherford, who was on our program the first week, and we'll be back with the women's championship match right after this. Grandma Dot is in the finals against Gene Weatherford, and there's her first ball. Hello, darling. What I tell you, a strike right off the bat. Actually,
and the ripper off the wall.
She beat Glenna Sydnor in our first match, 202-189. Now here's Gene Weatherford. She's 1-1 on TV. She was in our first week of qualifying, and there's a 7 count. In our first week, she beat Janice McKinney in the first match, 197-187. But in the finals, Connie Block really prevailed with a 238 to Gene's 175.
Well, there's a 13-pin differential here, and it's in favor of Gene Weatherford. You know, the first week we had the mother-daughter. I'll get it right here in a minute, Nick. The mother-son act here.
Well, Jean's just kind of joking around because before she bowled her first frame, she had 2 strikes going into the first frame.
And there you see the graphics, 138 average for Gene.
And she's coming from the gutter. There it is, Gene Weatherford.
She's saying, Black Beauty, do your duty.
Well, here's Grandma Blue, and she lets her rip. Little high, yes, sir. And there oh boy, a double right off the bat.
And she's giving you an assortment of shots, too. She's giving you the Wally wall banger and then the little trip 6. And that's what you call getting out of the gate in a hurry.
Our highest game ever was a 225. And she is that a Brooklyn when you go to the right side of the head pin?
Well, she's right-handed, so that would be a Cincinnati shot. But really, for her, the way she's playing it, it would be a crossover hit. A little body English up there. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's Gene Weatherford back up. She's 52 years of age. She's from Florence, Kentucky. She's married and has 2 children, Earl and Gary. She's been in bowling 5 years. And let's see, Gene working on a strike. Oh, the 5-pin kicked the 8 out, but the 9 saying hello.
You know, it's interesting, Jean, you know, she works with this diet workshop, and she takes the 4 steps, and she's a spot bowler. And again, she likes to work, and she considers that her best hobby.
And for the conversion, yes. So both ladies on a roll. Well, that's a pun. There's a 6-pin difference going into the top of the 4th. Jean's only been bowling 5 years.
And she lost that one, Nick. Just as she went to release the ball, it just slipped right out of her hand. And she could get no fingers at all on it.
The 5 count on the spare.
Not only is it a bad count on the spare, but it's a very difficult shot. She has to play this exactly like a strike hit. There's no tricks on this one.
Let's see what happens. Yes, 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 yes.
Right now she's saying, where was that one on the first one?
Now here comes Dorothy Weiss, a grandmother of 4. And what happened there, Eddie?
She just didn't get to the head pin and got up there a little quick and just didn't get the reverse roll that she normally would have got.
Let's see. for the conversion, a little light. So
It was
her,
almost identical, Nick, for the same shot she had on the first ball. She just got a little more to the right.
well, that's her first opening this game. She's +7, but Jean Weatherford's on a spare. So let's see. And that's her ball. Yes, sir. Mark it down. She's going to be tough to beat. There's Jean Weatherford with a strike right back. So Jean Weatherford, that strike puts her +5. And we're halfway through this match.
You know, these lady bowlers are the bowling proprietor's best friend. They don't pose. They just pick up the bowling ball. They walk up there. They don't look 3 lanes to the left or 3 lanes to the right, and they let it go.
And watch out, Jean Weatherford. Oh, did you see that head pin do a little song and dance? It was jumping around. An 8 count.
This is what is known as a sleeper, and of course Jean's playing this from the right side. I'm sure that Grandma will be playing it from the left.
The sleeper double wood and a little light. That's what we're talking about.
There are so many angles that you can use in spare bowling, Nick, that can increase your percentage of making the spare. And that definitely was a poor choice of an angle.
And there is trouble. The 8-10 split.
Well, I'm sure Grandma will go for the 1 because she's sitting on a strike. And sitting on a strike, 1 means 2. So she'll go for the spare wood.
Watch out. So we have a very interesting match. After 6 frames, Jean Weatherford +7. Dorothy Weiss, she's retired from banking. Or she will be the first of the year. But this is her business. Right now there's bowling. And that's a power ball.
Well, that's the one that she opened up the match with, which was the Wally Wallbanger, and of course she just ran just with a short pin there, and she didn't get the kick that she wanted, Nick, off of the wall. If you notice, she's playing this just exactly like a left-hander.
And no way, that backup ball did not make its break. So that opens the door for Jean Weatherford. A mark here in the 7th frame could give Miss Weiss some trouble. So let's watch Jean. Boy, she lets her fly a 10-pound ball and a 7 count.
Well, see, that's that reverse ball, Nick, and it's going with the clockwise roll away from the pocket, and she's not getting the action that Grandma's doing if it was released from the left side of the lane.
And
she may lean that 6 over almost.
Doggy. She was close. 149, 142, the top of the 8th. Jean Weatherford, +7. Some of Jean's hobbies are dancing and crafts and just helping people. It's the kind of lady you want to meet. Now here's Jean. It hits a little light and a 9 count.
You know, she set that ball a little, what we call a little short. She didn't get it out too far onto the lane, and the closer you can set it when the lanes are not conducive to creating a hook, if you set it short, it will pick up a roll a lot sooner.
Big spare here. Jean looked like she lost her balance a little bit, and
covered.
hello, darling. She got it. Now here's Grandma Dot, Dorothy Weiss. That looks like that could be her ball. A little high, and she is in trouble. Well, Eddie, looks like she's going to have to go for this.
She's got to get behind it. That's for sure, Nick. She's got to get behind it. She's going to have to slide the 4 all the way across into the 10.
She steps out there without hesitation, and she gave it a go. Nice shot. It is mark time for Dorothy Weiss. This lady's no stranger to pressure. And I love going out on the limb. A mark right here. And we're talking a big one. Let's see what happens. A little light.
You notice she's coming across to the right side, and Jean Weatherford is going on the other side. So between the two of them, they got their game's a little mixed up here.
Oh boy.
Turned her back on in the morning, she left it loose.
So Jean Weatherford sitting good right here. With a strike here, she can be plus 18, and I would almost sew it up. And let's see how Jean responds. Oh, she chopped it, a 2 count on a spare, Eddie.
Well, you know what? That is the first time, as long as I have been bowling, that I've seen 2 knocked off.
Are you kidding?
That is the truth. I had a chance to win $1,000 to shoot a house number, and the house number was 764, and I needed 2 on the last ball, and there's just no way, but she just did it.
So she ends up with an 8 count. So we have a 10 pin difference going into the 10th frame.
It's down to a mark.
Okay.
Whoever performs in the 10th frame. And we know what Big Mama can do. Let's see what Jeannie can do.
Jean.
She rolled it.
There's her ball. That's it. Yes.
She rolled
Jean
it.
Weatherford.
That was that ball I was telling you about, Nick. She set it short, and it rolled. It picked up a real strong roll.
Oh, boy. Her highest game this year has been a 201. 201. But that mark was probably the biggest of her young career. An 8 count. With a spare here, she'll finish at 189. And we could have a tie.
I was waiting on you.
I know what you were thinking. You tell them.
It seems like every week we have an opportunity to have a tie somewhere along the line, and I just love to see Big Mama throw a tie here.
Well, the only way she can tie is 3 X's, and she's already up there before lane 7's even reset. She knows what she's got to do, and oh boy.
And we got a winner, Jean Weatherford.
We sure do. Boy, I tell you, Grandma died while Jean was bowling for her conversion. She was already walking up to the lane. Before the pins were reset, she let her rip. But she gave it a super effort. With the strike here.
We got a 10-pin.
A 10-pin difference.
Right?
So
well, they say try again, and Jean made herself a second effort of qualifying and made it a victorious one.
Well, I'm sure we're going to see this lady back here again also. And a 9 count. So 178 for Grandma Dot. But Jean Weatherford proves too strong with the strike in the 10th frame with a 189, and she is our women's champion. And we'll be back with the fellas right after this.